Okay, so thank you everybody so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about nutrition and supplements. So I'm just going to mute everybody so that you can all hear really, really well. Check we've got everybody muted. Okay, perfect. So what I really wanted to support you with today, okay, is just understanding how other elements of doTERRA can support you really well. So first of all, we're going to talk about genetics and lifestyles. So for years and years, scientists have believed that whatever's in your genetics, whatever's in your genes, actually means that that will happen to you. So what that means, as in for your specific well-being, is that if your grandparents or your granddad or your dad died of heart disease, it was quite likely that you too would die of heart disease, which is not kind of a nice thing to kind of feel, is it? Whereas actually more and more research has now come out that it is very much the influence of lifestyle. So if we're able to, impact on our lifestyle in a way that's really positive, actually what that's able to do is actually postpone and even avoid some of the chronic illnesses that may be predispositioned as previously thought in your gene pool. So that's an amazing change, and I think also for you to kind of feel like actually I can take control of my health, I can actually take control of my life and how my life is going to look, especially later on in your life, so as you're getting older, because being told that this is what's going to happen to you is not a nice position to be in. So what does compression of morbidity actually mean? So it's looking at life expectancy and life quality. So if we look at the graph here, so you've got that grey graph there, your chronic disease, and so this is the person's lifespan. And so you can see from these little red lines here, so this is the early onset of this chronic disease, and then that's life there for quite a significant part of their life with this chronic disease. And actually, so what we can do is through very different changes, so actually looking at a healthy lifestyle, we're actually able to postpone and then shorten the duration of that chronic disease. And research has shown that actually you can actually reduce it by 7 to 12 years, which is a huge amount of time, and a massive change to what that person's life is actually going to look like. And like obviously within life, this short period of time, the red here, is a lot shorter than the really, really long one there. What does that actually look like for us? It means that we can actually improve the quality of our life and actually enjoy a better quality of life for a longer period. So we're living younger for longer, which is obviously much better than the alternative. So here we have doTERRA's wellness lifestyles. So you can see along the bottom there, you've got eat right. Now, eating right is the foundation of health. So it is so important that we are getting the right things into our bodies. And so we're going to talk about the different doTERRA products that we actually have available to us that we can utilize to support us to make sure that we are eating right. So some people may think, well, actually I eat a healthy diet, so I don't need supplements. And I definitely have been one of those people thinking, well, do I really need to supplement? And we're going to look at why that even the really healthy eating people, so obviously it's much better that you're going to be eating really healthily, and that's really important. I'm not saying eat rubbish and use doTERRA supplements. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we can work it as a partnership. So who is it that needs multivitamins? So this plate of food is very different to the one we've just seen. Now, they have done huge case studies over thousands of different people, and actually they have found that only 9 out of 10, that's a lot, that's a huge percentage, and they don't meet the recommended daily average for vitamin D, vitamin E, but over 50% also don't meet the required vitamin A, calcium and magnesium. Now these are really key elements to our nutrition that we really need to function effectively and to stay well. So what can we do? Another case study that's come out from the New York Times is that actually the loss of these really important nutrients has happened over a very, very long period of time. And you can see the apples here. So these ones are obviously not as shiny, not as beautiful, but actually they have 100 times more phytonutrients than these really pretty shiny ones, that over time, you know, we're no longer foraging for these wild plants, we're no longer doing those things. And actually what that means is these ones that are in the supermarkets are nowhere near what our body actually would need to be at its optimum. The other thing that I found really, really interesting was another case study had come out as well, where an apple today, and even comparing to an apple in the 1940s, you would need to eat 16 apples today to get the similar nutrients and supplements that you would have for, oh, sorry, just unmuting, supplements for to receive the same nutrients and the same vitamins. So that's 16 apples compared to the 1940s. And then what it's saying here in this report is that that's even that from the 1940s was less than what our body really truly needed. And so we need help. We need some support to get what our bodies actually need. So what are the signs of a vitamin and mineral deficiency? So, and you may actually think, actually, that's definitely me. So lack of energy, fatigue, mood, irritability, immune function, bone and health and joint discomfort, skin, hair, nails, all of these different things that we would notice that are not their best. So there are absolutely loads and loads and loads of case studies that talks about the impact of multivitamin supplements, and so it's not to be ignored. It's really, really important for us to really, you know, acknowledge that this is a true thing, that food that we have available to us is just not good enough, and that we just need that extra support so that we can be at our optimum. Our diets have massively changed, but our genes haven't. So this curve that you can see where the nutrients have actually gone down during this, you know, agricultural and then industrial period, it has really, really plummeted. And so we definitely, again, it just demonstrates that our predisposition genes, so what we actually need from our gene pool, and we know that we need those multivitamins, we know that we need that foundation, is not there in our diet. Again, it is, again, like we talk about this, I've talked about this a couple of times now, it is genetically programmed. So we need this foundation for those macronutrients to actually take them into our bodies and utilize them effectively. But what's really exciting is that actually doTERRA have created a product that will enable us to get those things to the best, and so that we can then function at that optimum. So what would this nutrition support us with? So it will allow our body to function the best that it can do. So increased in energy, increased in mental clarity. Those are two huge things that impact so many of us, especially today. It also will support that cardiovascular and inflammatory responses. So if we've got our circulation that's working more effectively and we don't have as many aches and pains, that's a huge, huge change to so many people's lives. Now, these are statements that are from people who have started using the supplements, and there may be a phrase in here that you would love to be able to say yourself. So, I sleep better, I have less discomfort, I feel well, I feel more happy, I have more energy, I have more focus, my skin looks younger. So these are all things that have impacted in an amazing way for people using the doTERRA supplements. So these are the doTERRA supplements. So they're called the Lifelong Vitality. And I even love the name of it. You know, it's that we want that longevity. So exactly what we've spoken about. We want to be able to have that impact in that way for us and our families. So basically the nutritional value of this is 12 servings of fruit and vegetables in every single serving that you take, which is really, really amazing. And what the difference is between these and others, and this is the thing that I find really, really exciting, is that they are from whole food sources. So on the back of these supplements, you will have, for example, vitamin A, vitamin B, and then in brackets, it will tell you the whole food source that that it has come from, which is so, so key, because sadly, similarly to that of an essential oil industry, the supplements industry is gone a bit crazy as well. The majority of supplements available on the market today are completely synthetic. And the really frustrating thing about that is that our bodies cannot absorb them correctly. So we've got, say, for example, somebody will take that supplement, they will feel that high energy, because that's the synthetic design of what it's supposed to create, and then we get a really big crash. And so then that person kind of thinks, oh my goodness, I've got to be on these, because if I don't, I feel terrible. These don't work in that way. The amazing thing about these is that because it's like a superfood meal every day, if you forget to eat a superfood meal one day, you're not going to get a massive crash. Obviously, you function so much better when you're having the best nutrition. So having that superfood meal each day is going to support you much better, but you will not get that huge crash. So the other part that I wanted to talk to you about was just each of them individually. So what are they and how do they actually work? So the first one here is the alpha CRS. So the alpha CRS, that's all your superfoods. So things like turmeric, selenium, milk thistle, pomegranate, and grape seeds. And it's all these little things that we may have heard of individually as being really, really powerful to support our bodies. But together, they have a massive, massive impact. Then you've got your omegas. So your omegas, so they're 3, 6, and 9. You can also get vegan versions of this as well. But what's exciting about the omegas, the fish oils, is that it also has essential oils in it. So the essential oils actually support them to stay at their best for longer. So many omegas are already rancid before we even take them. And so if you were to cut them open, they're horrible, and you don't want to have those at all. Some people will have them repeating on them and things like that. So these are at their optimum using those essential oils. You also get the essential oils to go alongside to support them as well, because we all know that the essential oils have other jobs to do to support with our immune function and our cellular health. So the other thing that we have as well, so we've got the VMZ. So the VMZ is the vitamins and minerals. So like I said, you can see on the back there in brackets the actual food source, so the whole food source of that vitamin and mineral. It's so, so exciting to actually see it. Now, what that means for our bodies is that we're able to take them into our bodies and use them as an actual food source. Now, what happens if you take a synthetic one in, and this was explained, I loved it was explained by a chemist, because I am not a chemist and I wanted to hear how it works really, really simply so that we can actually understand it. And in our bodies we have our cells, and in the cells we have little portals designed to absorb different vitamins and minerals. And in those in that kind of little portal that you may have, there's little doors designed for different vitamins and minerals. And so what that means is that you've got, say, a door for vitamin A or a door for vitamin D. Now, when that synthetic vitamin comes in, the door goes, boom, closes. You're not coming in because you're actually not vitamin D. And what that does is it means that it reduces our body's ability to naturally absorb from food sources those vitamins and minerals. So that's why synthetic ones actually turn into a toxicity and are really have the opposite effect that we want to have on our body. And that's why it's so, so important to know exactly what it is that you're taking. Whereas, because these are food sources, our bodies are able to recognize it as that vitamin or mineral and absorb them very, very effectively into our body. So this enables us to promote energy, it enables us to have a more restful sleep, it supports with antioxidant effect, it supports metabolism, all of those different things that we're able to then get using these. So it literally kind of, when somebody has something really, really chronic, the number one thing that I will say is, let's look at the lifelong vitality, because this is the one that can support you the most. Now, you don't need to believe me, because I'll talk about that in a minute. I just want to share this one with you. That is me. So that is me collapsed on the bed. That is how I was before using Lifelong Vitality. I was always tired. I wanted to nap every day, and our children were at school. There was absolutely zero reason why I should be wanting to have a nap, but I desperately wanted to have a nap every single day. And once I started using these supplements, my energy levels just went through the roof. I was able to function super effectively. Now, some people then think, oh my goodness, but if my energy levels are through the roof, I'm not going to be able to sleep very well. But actually, you sleep so much better, because what it does is it creates that energy during the day when you're busy and you're doing stuff. And then at night, you have a more restful sleep. It literally works on both sides, because it isn't that synthetic, crazy energy kind of pushing up into your body. It isn't that at all. It's literally super food. The other thing that this was able to do for me, my cycle was all very, very irregular, and it enabled it to literally put it to clockwork, which I had never experienced in my life ever before. And of course, if it's regulating it in that way, what it's also supporting is with the hormone balancing. So when your hormones are more balanced, loads of different things happen for you. Your mood levels are able to be sorted. You're able to deal with things more effectively. And even my dad kind of, you know, your dad's obviously known you for your whole life, and can see small changes in you. So he even mentioned to my husband, Cathrine just seems much more able to kind of deal with things that happen. Now, life's difficult. Life has things that come in, big things, little things, and obviously at the moment we're dealing with quite a big thing. And if we're not at our best, sometimes it's really, really hard to actually see a bigger picture and be able to manage that situation. Using these, your ability, and that's my experience, is that my ability to deal with whatever comes is so much greater, and the ability to function more effectively and manage those emotions is a huge, huge change. So that is why I use the doTERRA supplements. I also am able to then be a better mum, because my patience levels have increased. Again, at this time, my gosh, that was needed, because you're trying to do everything at once. So it really, really has impacted on my life. So, as I mentioned, you don't need to take my word for it. In actual fact, doTERRA do. Try doTERRA for 30 days and it's guaranteed. So basically, this is their #1 selling product. And if you don't feel a change, you can contact them and get your money back, which is amazing, because that is not available to any other supplements that I know out there. And it's because this impacts on so many people in such an amazing way. Okay, so Okay, so the next part that we're going to look at is the gut health. Now, gut health is so key to supporting and actually functioning really effectively. And there's so many different things that can impact on our gut health. It will really support and it will impact on weight, it will impact on our immune system and our mental health and well-being. So if the gut's not functioning effectively, we are not functioning effectively. And there's lots of different things that can actually damage our gut. So an unhealthy gut diet can really have a massive impact on the gut. Using antibiotics, this is a very well-known situation that even doctors will share, the side effects of them as well. So lack of regular physical activity is a huge one. It just becomes very sluggish. Poor sleep habits and stress. All of those things will have a big impact on how your gut is dealing and how it's basically functioning. So doTERRA have 3 amazing products here that I wanted to share with you. This top one's called Terrazyme. Now, Terrazyme is a digestive enzyme. And what's amazing about this digestive enzyme is that it supports our body to loosen up what we have in our system, basically. So sometimes and oftentimes we will have remnants of food that are stuck around the outer rim of our gut. And sometimes they're in there for quite long periods of time. And obviously that increases toxicity and doesn't allow us to absorb the nutrients as effectively. So what Terrazyme actually does, and there's a really cool experiment that people have done on YouTube, you can actually look this up, is where they've taken quite solid porridge and then put Terrazyme into it, and it actually turns that porridge very liquidy. Now, that's probably not a correct scientific term, liquidy. So it turns it into much more of a liquid. But what's amazing about it is that if we're able to do that within our gut, where there's a build-up or there's things not going through effectively, it can actually support to loosen that area in the bowel and actually then push it through. And of course, this is all super natural, so it's not going to have an aggressive impact on your gut. It's going to support it gently. So this one is one that is so key to just functioning really well. This is again a system alongside the Lifelong Vitality and Lemon that can have absolutely amazing results for skin. We've had such amazing, feedback from people using Terrazyme, Lifelong Vitality and Lemon to support with cleansing skin issues that have gone on for a very long time. So this one's an amazing one to be able to utilize. Then you've got your probiotics. So you've got your PB Assist for the adults and PB Assist Junior for children. I really like the PB Assist Junior because it's kind of like sherbet, which is crazy that they've managed. It's just amazing. So it's 50 million live bacteria microencapsulated. And what that means is it's got 2 outer layers, so that as it goes into your stomach, the outer layer may be dissolved, but the inner layer will then get to your gut. And the PB Assist ones are really, they look really cool as well. They're kind of like a shiny outer bit where it's clear, and then you can kind of see the probiotics inside a little blue capsule on the inside of the capsule. And of course, what this does is it supports the good flora, so the good bacteria in your gut. So you want to be able to increase the good bacteria in your gut so that your gut can function more effectively. So at the moment, you may be sitting and thinking, okay, yeah, this is a lot of information, but what area in this would you say you would rate yourself as? So is your weakness at the moment eating right? Is your weakness at the moment, and by weakness I mean the bit you're not managing to achieve as successfully, not that it's a weakness like that. So is the area that you want to improve exercise or resting, managing stress? Or is it reducing the toxic load in your home? Or informed self-care, so knowing how to use these essential oils to support your healthcare. What is it that you feel you need to have support with. And whoever invited you onto this call today, reach out to them and talk to them about the areas that this is, you know, highlighted maybe for you that you want to know a little bit more about. So then it's all about creating healthy daily habits. So what can we do in our daily routine that will actually support us to have the optimum health? So it's creating a plan, especially I would say at this point in time, some people may not be doing their normal routines, and it's creating a new routine that's going to support you the best at this time. So utilizing, for example, frankincense on the back of your neck, balance on the bottom of your feet, and taking the lifelong vitality supplements, you know, that's your morning routine. And then looking at, well, what exercise are you having, and are you doing yoga, are you doing a workout, what are you doing, are you going for a walk? And it's kind of integrating that into your daily steps, and then adding the supplements and the oils that can support you with that. Another really amazing way of kind of just integrating it throughout the day is just looking at what your needs are. So if you have, you know, worked out more excessively than you have for a while, then just putting Deep Blue on to support with that potential muscle tension. So you may not be feeling it straight away, but to support with that. If you're feeling a little bit, you know, your levels of anxious feelings are increasing, then maybe using some peppermint and wild orange on your chest to really open the airways in the morning and just really lift that mood is a really powerful way to support as well. So it's just kind of figuring out what is it that I need that will support me the best. And then in the evening, you know, diffusing lavender or serenity or balance, these really powerful mood oils that are going to help you to relax, and then supporting your immune system as well. At this point in time, every night we put On Guard in our diffuser, along with Serenity and Air, which is the respiratory blend. And we do that every single night in each of our rooms because we want to know that throughout the night we're getting that best support, and you know, it's actually supporting our bodies whilst we're resting, so we're getting all the health benefits at the same time. And then it's just, you know, remembering that it's not just about products, it's about physically doing things that will help you. Drinking water is a massive one, so we're going to look at how we can actually make that a little bit more exciting. Now, some people may actually not drink water. Like, they literally don't drink it because they don't like it. And I have always loved water, but now water's even more exciting because we're able to put the essential oils in it, and they just taste amazing. So some of the top ones that I absolutely love is grapefruit. Just is really cleansing. It tastes amazing. It actually tastes very similar, because some people may not like the grapefruit fruit. Like, I am not very keen on the grapefruit fruit, but I absolutely love the oil. It actually tastes almost like an orange, actually. So very similar to the wild orange, but just a little bit more subtle. The wild orange tastes amazing as well. Lemon's my #1 favorite essential oil because it is so cleansing to the body, but also really good for digestion and lifting mood. I love it. I just use it as a perfume, and I use it in my hair as well. So I use lemon a lot. It's one of my #1 essential oils. Then you've got peppermint, Smart and Sassy. They're really powerful ones to actually energize, lift mood. The Smart and Sassy one is an amazing one to support with food cravings. Now, at this point in time, some people are saying that one of their biggest issues is they keep going to the fridge. And this actually supports that as well, because it supports how you're feeling at the same time as those hunger cravings. A very powerful blend. Then you've got lime. I absolutely love lime and ginger together. Tastes really amazing. And you would literally use one of each in a huge jug of water. So really powerful. Many people have used this to come off squash and come off fizzy drinks and things like that. And now is a better time than ever kind of go into this transition, because it means that you're impacting in such an amazing way for your health and well-being, but also reducing your need to go out and get some more of those things. So a really good one to use. So nothing changes if nothing changes. That is, you know, this is such a true statement. You know, it's your ability to make changes now. So kind of think, well, what is it do I need to change? Which areas could this support? You know, what's impacting on me right now? Am I feeling, you know, those anxious feelings? Am I feeling that it's harder to go to sleep? You know, am I feeling that I don't know if my immune system is supported as much as I would like it to be? And so all the things that we've talked about today can really, really support in those areas. Just remember to not feel that kind of overwhelm, like, what do I need to do? It's huge. It's not at all huge if you just take it step at a time, plan out your day, and just make those better choices and create those daily habits. Because obviously we've looked at how that impacts on your life. I definitely want to live longer, healthier. I don't want to live longer, not healthier. I want to enjoy my life, and you know, it's just about being the best versions of yourself. So thank you so much for joining me today. It was really lovely to get to, you know, share this with you. I'm so passionate about the lifelong vitality and all the products that we've spoken about today, because of the massive impact that they have had on me personally and so many of my friends and family. So I'm going to stop the recording for a second.